All right, let's get to it. It's Champions Leagues, quarterfinals, semifinals. Let's get to some NBA, some NHL. And so let's start out with the road to Istanbul. We got the final 8 coming in. Benfica versus Inter Milan. Manchester City versus Bayern Munich. We got Real Madrid versus Chelsea. AC Milan versus Napoli. Of course, I said in the last video, I'm pretty sure it's always unexpected because it just got back from the break when you do the Sweet 16 or whatever you really wanted, the round of 16 knockout stages. Right now, this is the final 8. Chelsea has been on fire. They're 5-1-2. And honestly, they've been playing defensively good. I can say that about AC Milan, and I can say that about Inter Milan. Right now, AC Milan, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Benfica have the first legs at home, where the second legs will be Napoli, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, and Inter Milan. So when you look at it that way, it's pretty much down to who's going to play more or less the better second game. Now, the road to the quarterfinals for Champions League don't start until April 11th and 18th. And then, of course, the semifinals will go May 9th to May 16th. And, of course, the final is June 10th, which is one game. It's a toss-up, really. I could say this. Napoli is 7-0-1, and they're because they're considered third because they're not undefeated. Manchester and Benfica and even Real Madrid is fourth, and they're the defending 14-time champions. Bayern Munich is 7-1-0. They're undefeated. So right now, people are putting Bayern Munich and Benfica, who haven't been to a final in a very, very long time, and they haven't won in a super long time. So when you look, I don't want to just give you that's just my analytics. That's not everybody's perception, because honestly, I could see Napoli pulling it off, going to the finals. But does that mean they're gonna win? No. People, even myself, thought Real Madrid started off a little slow, but they're doing just fine, and they're 14-time champions. Inter Milan 4-2-2, just getting by with, they've only in the round of 16 they only scored 1 goal. Same with Inter Milan, Inter and AC Milan only scored 1 goal. The Serie A has 6 teams in the 3 competitions there. We'll get to that here in a few seconds, but I don't know. I'm looking at it like Real Madrid won their last 2. Bayern Munich, Manchester City even drew against Red Bull Leipzig. It's really hard to put a finger on which one, to say this team is going to be perfect for the finals, because honestly, any of these teams can make it to the finals. A lot of them have been playing defensively good, some more offensively than actually defensively, such as Manchester City scoring 8 goals to shutting out Red Bull 7-0 or whatever there. Bayern Munich shutting out Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 out of the 2 games. You can't. Yeah, it's honestly, it's so even Benfica 7-1 against Club Bruges, you know. So we'll see what happens, but that is absolute diamond of some matchups. The road to Budapest, we got. Sorry about this. We got Fenerun in the inaugural Europa Conference champion Roma, Juventus and Sporting CP, Manchester United versus Sevilla, the 6-time champions. They won 6 times, and since 2005, 3 years in a row actually, the Europa. So, and then Bayer Leverkusen versus Royal Union St. Gilloise. Ironically, they're Fenerun and Royal Union St. Louis are the only ones that were the top seeded teams that made it so far. All the other ones were teams that had to do play-ins, such as even Manchester United, who are 8-1-1. And when the Red Devils get hot, they go on a winning streak. That's all they've been doing, is going on a winning streak. Yeah, it doesn't matter where, in the English Premier League, everywhere they've gone, they or been doing. That's all they've been doing is winning. Scoring, like I think like their goal differential is like 30 to like 15 or something, and you can't put that against them because it's Manchester United. It's one of the most premier teams of all time. Some would even say one of the greatest teams of all time. Juventus, Sporting CP, Sevilla, and Bayer Leverkusen also were in the Champions League, and they've been playing pretty freaking hard. Sevilla, especially, 3-2-5. Bayer Leverkusen 4-2-4, and you got Sporting CP who's 4-3-3, and Juventus who's 4-1-5 after pretty much win almost 1-5 in the Champions League. They've been winning, plus with what happened to Juventus in their own league, the Serie A, being demoted because of the reasonings. You can't say anything. Right now, Fenerun, Juventus, Manchester United, and Bayer Leverkusen all have the first leg games, so the home field advantage will go for Roma, Royal St. Louis, Sevilla, and Sporting CP. Yeah, right. And the way the bracket, and here let's just look at the brackets. Real Madrid, Chelsea on one side with Manchester City and Bayern Munich, and then on the other side AC Milan, Napoli, and Benfica and Inter Milan. On the that's for the Champions League, and for the Europa, you got Juventus and Sporting CP on the same side as Sevilla and Manchester United, and then Fenerun and AS Roma on the one side with Bayer Leverkusen and Royal Union St. Louis. It's going to be a toss-up. It's not going to, and trust me, it's not going to be an easy one, because all these teams barely have red cards. This isn't the Europa Conference where most teams actually have red cards, unfortunately. But let's actually get to that now. Is the Europa Conference? Oh, before I leave, quarterfinals will go April 13th and April 20th. Semifinals May 11th, May 18th, and the finals for the Europa League will take place on the 31st of May. Let's go to let's go to the Europa Conference Champions League, where Gent will take on West Ham United, FC Basel will take on Nice, Poznan will take on Florentia, and Anderlecht will take on AC Alkmaar. And right now, Gent, Basel, Poznan, and Anderlecht all have the first leg, and Florentia, AZ Alkmaar, West Ham, and Nice will all have the home field advantage in the second. Only two of the division leaders actually made it through. The rest of them all had to fight, and that's the Dutch, AZ Alkmaar, and West Ham United. West Ham being undefeated, 8-0-0. You can't. Honestly, if you were to ask me who's going to make it, again, I don't know, because West Ham has been on a roll, but and outscoring a lot of their opponents. If you were to ask me, I could see them in the finals, just like I could see Sevilla or Manchester United in the finals for the Europa League. But for the Europa Conference, it's not going to be the back-to-back winners. So, but could we see another Italian Dutch matchup for Anthea, who's 8-1-1? Probably. They've been playing really good, and they've been playing good in Serie A. That's we're it's the third tier, but it's still something important in it, and to me, that's all that really matters, is they're there and they're ready. Basel got by on penalty shots. Same with Gent, KAA Gent. Don't overlook these teams just because they're going up against powerhouses. Nice has been doing good, even though they're not in the highest rankings of the Liga. Yeah, and honestly, let's just take a step back and say, hey, these are going to be good matches. The quarterfinals take place 13th of April and also 20th. The semifinals 11th of May and 18th of May, and then of course the finals will take place 3 days before the Champions League final, which is on June 7th. So it goes Europa final on the 31st of May, 7th of May will be the Europa Conference, and Champions League will take place on June 10th. June 7th for the Europa Conference. I don't know how that works. Honestly, I really don't. It's I thought the third tier would go first, but I guess not. It's just how it is. But let's get on it. But now that we have established the footy, let's go to some other big news in the world of sports. Let's start with some. Honestly, let's start with some Euro qualifiers. Today we have 8 matches. Kazakhstan versus Slovenia, which Slovenia won 2-1. We have Denmark and Finland, North Macedonia and Malta, Slovakia and Luxembourg, Italy and England, Portugal and Liechtenstein, San Marino and Northern Ireland, and Bosnia-Herzegovina versus Iceland. Tomorrow, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Moldova and Faroe Islands, Gibraltar and Greece, Czechia and Poland, Serbia and Lithuania, Belgium, Sweden and Belgium, Austria and Azerbaijan, France and Netherlands. Big matchup with France and Netherlands. Saturday is Scotland and Cyprus, Armenia and Turkey, Belarus and Switzerland, Israel and Kosovo, Croatia and Wales. Good match there. Andorra and Romania, which might be actually a lot better of a match than people think, and Spain and Norway. Holland apparently will not be playing for the Norse national team, which is a shame because he is a spectacle, and that would have been something else. Kazakhstan on 26th, which is a Sunday. We have Kazakhstan and Denmark, Slovenia and San Marino, Liechtenstein and Iceland, England and Ukraine. Very good match there. Slovakia and Bosnia-Herzegovina, Luxembourg and Portugal. Of course, a good match there. Malta and Italy, and Northern Ireland and Finland. If I could just get on the matches today, the big matches to me would also Italy and England. People may just think Portugal and Liechtenstein is just supposed to be a walk in the park, but I don't think so. Who knows? We'll see. Because I was commenting and people were like, oh, they always blow. It'll be like a 12-0. I don't think it's going to be like that, but who knows? Like Liechtenstein, how they're a very proud nation. 27th, Netherlands and Gibraltar, Poland and Albania, Republic of Ireland and France, which might be actually really good because it's taking place in Ireland, Sweden and Azerbaijan, Montenegro and Serbia, another good one, Austria and Estonia, which might be a good one, Moldova and Czechia, and Hungary and Bulgaria. All good matches. And on the 28th, which will be the last matches until June for the European qualifiers, Georgia and Norway, Kosovo and Andorra, Switzerland and Israel, which will be a good one, Wales and Latvia, which will be a good one, Romania and Belarus, Turkey and Croatia, which will definitely be a good one, because finally we get to see the nation of Turkey after the horrible things that have been happening nationally with their country, and the destruction that's happened. So just keep them in your prayers, and keep them in mind. Scotland and Spain, which will be a really good match to me. Let's talk about some NHL and NBA before we get to that. We just have to let's just take a look back at the legend that passed away of Willie Reed. Willie Reed, the Knicks legend, won in 70 and 73, two-time champion, two-time Finals MVP, the MVP of the league in 1970, seven-time NBA All-Star. He was a part of the 50th and 75th anniversary teams. He was a player for 10 years, from 64 to 74, coming out of Grambling State. And then as a coach, he was a coach for them for a year, and then went on in 81 and 85 to Crichton. 85 came back to the NBA as an assistant coach for the Atlanta Hawks for 85 to 87, 87, 88, the Sacramento Kings, and of course the last year, 88 and 89, he was with the New Jersey Nets. I always hear about the name of Willis Reed, and you honestly, there's nothing short of greatness when you talk about him. So, my condolences to the Knicks organization and New York natives that most likely have met him or seen him or been around the circles. So, my condolences, and I really hope good things happen for the Knicks. I'm a Raptors fan, and I'm saying that. So let's just hope and we'll leave that at that. XFL, big matchup with the inaugural season, the DC Defenders versus the Houston Roughnecks, who are 4-1, and the DC Defenders undefeated. Reggie Barlow, NFL champion, was just 37, I think it was just on First Take talking about it, and he's the head coach of the DC Defenders. Big match. Dwayne Johnson has been doing really good. We're going to get to some WrestleMania here shortly. Let's talk about the NHL right now. The race for the Western the top seed, Avs and Wild Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild are tied with the Colorado Avalanche behind at 88 points, and of course the Stars and Wild at 90. Right now the Bruins are running away with the top seed in the East. Well, for their division, or for the Atlantic anyway. Right now it's somewhat a close race with the Canes and Rangers. But the Leafs and Lightning are 3 points back from each other, or 3 points in between each other for the second place. We can see a lot go on within the next few. This is the teams fighting for the second place. third place. So we'll see what happens. Right now, the wild card race is even heating up. Islanders and Penguins have taken the wild card seed in the East, while the Panthers, Capitals, Sens, and Sabres all looking out, or looking through the looking in, I guess would be trying to look in, however you want to mention it. For the West, the Kraken and Jets are the main choices. 5 points up on the Flames, Predators, who are looking out. I guess would be the better phrase. So I do apologize. I know it's early in the morning. I'm sorry. Right. So we'll see what happens with the NHL within the next few weeks. We'll see what happens before the start of, honestly, before the Elite Eight start up for Champions League and Europa Conference. NBA right now, the East, it looks pretty straightforward. Bucks, Celtics, 76ers all clinch their spots. In the West, Nuggets and Grizzlies clinch their spots. People are still doubting the Kings and the Clippers and the Warriors and the Suns. For me, I don't doubt the Suns or the Kings, because the Sacramento Kings have actually been playing really, really good. They've been playing some strong basketball, I guess would be the best phrase I can use. But, Clippers have injuries. Warriors have internal problems, injuries, to some degree. I don't doubt the Warriors will be there. I don't think they'll have to be in the play-in round. That's what some people may think. I don't know. I'm not a total expert. This is just me trying to. My passion is to be a sports analyst. I only do my best. This is just me. This is how I'm going to start. Right now, the play-ins are for the East go to the Raptors and Bulls, with the Pacers and Wizards 3 points back of both teams. So, I don't know. Like, it's pretty almost, to me, the wild, or I guess the play-in, not wild card. The play-in would be straightforward for the East, but Pacers could also go on a couple games. Like, all it takes is a couple wins. The other teams take a couple losses, and then boom, it could change. So right now, and for the West, the Mavs and Lakers are in the play-in, with the Jazz and the Pelicans with a minimum of half game back. The Trailblazers, the only team that have 3 games back of the Jazz and Pelicans. So again, the teams can go on a run. If LeBron's back, I'm pretty sure Lakers will be fine. Mavs, there was a little bit of controversy last night with the referees and the time clock and the scoreboard, and Mark Cuban's going off. So I really hope that just gets dealt with sooner than later, because I would hate to see Mark Cuban get fined, even though it would be like, oh, I'm fine here. He's probably got cash in his pocket, but Mark Cuban's one of the greatest owners of all time, and he's always been very vocal from 2006 to today. So let's not get ahead of ourselves on that. Because honestly, if they made a couple of stops, they probably would have did a little bit better. Got a couple of stops, stopped Steph Curry or stopped Klay Thompson, right? Just, like they could have made a couple blocks and probably won the game by a point or so. NCAA. Men's today, we got Michigan State versus Kansas State, Arkansas versus the University of Connecticut men's, FAU versus Tennessee, and Gonzaga versus UCLA. Tomorrow will be San Diego State versus the 1 seed Alabama, Miami University versus Houston, the 15 seed Princeton versus Creighton, and Xavier versus Texas. Princeton has been doing really good. I don't know if a lot of people are really against them. I love watching underdogs, but it's NCAA, and you never know. Like, it's usually big name teams always making it. I only hope to see them move on. And if they beat Crichton, that is absolutely astonishing if they were able to do that, and even more astonishing if they do it in a like a 5-8 point game, like they just absolutely take it to them, and who knows, right? It would be I honestly, Gonzaga is finally on the down on under the radar, and usually they're number one. This year they're not. Alabama, usually a football school, is doing pretty good as a basketball school as well. So let's not take them too lightly. And honestly, I really hope, like Michigan State and Kansas State, that's going to be a good one. Like honestly, I think it's going to be uh, a lot better than people think. But who knows? Honestly, that's just my honest opinion. They're all playing a lot. A lot of them are. Tennessee's playing good ball. You haven't seen them make really go this far in quite a few years. For the women's side, Miami U versus Villanova, LSU versus the Utah Utes, Colorado versus Iowa, Ole Miss and Louisville for tomorrow, which is Friday, and then Saturday Notre Dame and Maryland, who I actually kind of thought was going to go and get into the Sweet 16, so I'm kind of happy about that. I don't know how far they go after this. UCLA versus the dominant South Carolina, Ohio State versus the dominant University of Connecticut women, and Tennessee versus Virginia Tech. Honestly, like it's like South Carolina's just on this roll, so I don't know where that. Like I honestly picked South Carolina to take it, just like I picked. I can't remember who I picked for the men's. Honestly, I already forgot. They lost already. I think it's Purdue. Yeah. So my and for the women's, I took an underdog. I took my North Carolina women Tar Heels. Unfortunately, they didn't go as far as I thought they would, but there's always next year. So let's just hope for the best, and let's get on with the WWE. Right now, it's with great pleasure to announce that the three that are inducted already: the legendary Rey Mysterio, who I've looked up to just since WCW, taught me that you could, people in my height can do what, we have all the tools at our disposal, and we don't have to look at our differences. And he been a great inspiration. So to see him be the first inducted, that's amazing. The Great Muta, who Ric Flair did announce that is going to be one of the international people inducted, and of course the legendary Andy Kaufman, who you remember in the Jim Carrey movie Man on the Moon, I think it was, was portrayed. WrestleMania 39 Hollywood. We have some of the greatest matches. We have Reigns and Cody Rhodes. We have Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's title. We have Bianca Belair and Asuka for the Raw Women's title. We have the Intercontinental title being defended with in a triple threat match: Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. We have Austria, Scotland, and Ireland all in one match, so that's great. For me, that's an amazing match. We have the Usos defending the titles against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We have a United States Championship title match of Austin Theory defending against the legendary John Cena coming back. We have Edge versus Finn Balor. We have women's tag team triple threat match: Damage Control versus Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Lita. We have Fatal 4-Way women's match that right now Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan are the only women announced for that. We have also a Fatal 4-Way men's tag match for Ricochet, the 4 teams, Strowman and Ricochet, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, Street Profits, and the Viking Raiders. We have the Beast versus the Giant, Brock Lesnar versus Omos, and Seth Rollins will fight Logan Paul, which to me, it just shows how good that him and his brother have been. Logan and Jake have been really putting their work in for combat sports, so I really hope everything goes well for him because it went good at WrestleMania last year for him. He got to do a match with The Miz, and so let's just hope it goes a little, better, and he doesn't get, betrayed like he did last time. Anyway, that is it. That's my video for today. I thank you for this time, and just appreciate what you guys, for whoever watches this. Pray for Ukraine, pray for Syria and Turkey, and thank you guys very much, and bless you guys.